What is going on, you guys? My name is Rage and we are back today with another legendary ranking review and overview video. In today's video, we're going to be going through all the legendary characters currently right now in the game, the ones we should be focused on, and as well we can feel on investing in, especially if you're focused from the short term to long term. It's extremely important to focus on this dynamic game in terms of where these characters rank right now, because given where new character releases, updates, patches, it's important to be up to date just to understand the characters that stay relevant and the ones that are no longer worth investing in. So that being said, you guys can see here, this is my full roster right now for all of my legendary characters. And there's some really obvious ones on the bottom. So generally, there's a good assumption here that the most powerful characters in my roster are generally the ones you want to invest in and push forward. But there is a caveat here. Keep in mind, sometimes the red stars does throw the combat power out of whack here in terms of propping them up. So, just because they're higher doesn't necessarily mean they're used more. So I'll give you an example here. What I've done right now is in this screenshot here, there is a legendary ranking I've used to update. And this is available, by the way, in the link in the description below on my resources. But essentially what I've done is each month I do try to take the time, or every couple weeks, just to see where they are right now in the game in terms of, are they relevant in arena, as you can see in this column. Will they be able to assist in campaigns if they're unlocked early? Are they used in raids right now? And for raids specifically, we're really focused on the Doom 2 raids, because with those ones, that's in preparation for Dark Dimension 5. Especially, that's the only way to access those teal orbs available. As well, are they used in war? And last but not least, Dark Dimension usage. Are they actually viable in the Dark Dimension PvE endgame? And lastly, the legendary requirement unlocker. So with this column, it's kind of a caveat one, because only select few are applicable in terms of being able to be used to unlock another legendary character, but it does actually pop up their ranking. So based on this analysis and overview, it allows us to really compare legendary characters apples to apples. And overall, that actually translates into an unlock difficulty here. Now, with the unlock difficulty, this is actually determined in terms of how available and readily available the characters are in the game to actually unlock these legendaries. So as you can see here, Omega Red is very hard right now, just because of the fact that the newest legendary to the game, and as well is one of the few that require another legendary character, and that's in Nick Fury, who additionally is quite difficult to unlock already, despite his ranking here. So that in itself is the context here of this working paper. But now I want to bring your guys' attention now to the top of the order here, being Jubilee, Adam Warlock, and then you have a bunch of those legendary characters ranked at 3 right now, because you can see they all do the same thing. They're extremely effective in Raid, War, and Dark Dimension. So the notable change is the one highlighted in blue here, being Shuri. With Shuri, you can see here that she actually got a move up significantly just recently as of the Doom 2 raids being released. With Shuri's usage, she's gaining insane value in terms of what she brings right now to the tech teams. Because with Shuri here, ideally she's one of the few characters right now that's tech that actually provides defense up. She's got healing capabilities. And as well, she was meant for raids. Whenever her passive is effective in terms of any ally dropping below that 50% threshold, she's actually going to provide them with deflex to further protect them. So this in an instance has really revitalized Shuri in the game. But the nail to the coffin is really the fact that she is a permanent legendary character in the game. And right now, as you can see from that previous spreadsheet here, her unlock difficulty is easy. It's extremely easy to unlock Shuri, and the fact that she's already providing end game dividends is really, really huge. So I mean, honestly, right now in terms of the 3s, I would say Shuri's the best value, because of the fact that she's quite accessible in the game, and she's providing usage not only in campaign but raids. She can be used in war and Dark Dimension, but notably she is definitely the stronger one out of the cluster right now for those 3s in terms of the usage and having the future usage here, especially with Doom 2 being the only way right now to get those teal orbs. When we focus on the top of the order here in Jubilee and Adam Warlock, now this is an interesting discussion right now, because you can see here Jubilee became one of the ones that actually unlocked another legendary in Adam Warlock. So they're kind of linked hand in hand, and because of that, her difficulty is actually lower than Adam Warlock for obvious reasons, because Adam Warlock actually requires Jubilee. But the other thing too to note right now is in the Doom 2 raids, mutant nodes right now, they're only actually accomplishable right now with the Astonishing X-Men, and Jubilee is leading that charge. I don't foresee that changing anytime soon, and because of that, she's going to be a top 3 legendary in the game. Now, this brings us attention now to the next one, being Adam Warlock. The only reason he's a 4 right now in the ranking is because of the fact that Adam Warlock is currently part of the arena meta. And if you guys have noticed with the recent updates to both Cersei and Icarus joining as internals, they're really shaking things up in the arena meta, especially in the top 10. So Adam Warlock's positioning for the arena is going to stay on board right now, but in the short term here, I would foresee a month or two, couple months, it's going to be reduced down to 3. So Adam Warlock is going to be in that cluster here with Omega Red, Dr. Octopus, Ebony Maw, Phoenix, and then as well Shuri, who we already previously touched on. But in this case, it actually makes Jubilee an interesting character right now because she actually has the most boxes checked off. Although she's not used in arena or campaign, you know, she's used in all aspects of the game following the end game. So that's raids, war, Dark Dimension, and now she is officially required for the unlock of Adam Warlock released this year. So making her actually the best value character right now in the game in terms of all those checkboxes, and giving her unlock difficulty too. She's quite easy to unlock, especially only needing the Pimtech team. And most of them are farmable in the game right now, with Wasp and Ant-Man being quite accessible already from the early stages. Ghost being added to the War Store. You got Yellow Jacket also in campaign. You also have Stature as well in campaign as well. Important to note, Adam Warlock is going to lose his arena usage over time here. He still remains to be one of the few legendaries that can actually, you know, stun 2 characters at once. He's got a strong ability block. I use him heavily in Doom 2. His Infinity Watch team is still one of the best war offense teams, especially being one of the viable ones to actually take down the Heroes for Hire next to Weapon X. So I mean, his usage is still going to be really strong. It's just he's going to lose that arena usage overall, but that's why I'm not worried about investing in him freely right now. He's got a usage beyond the Infinity Watch as being that slot-in support character, and again having those really strong statistical bonuses following the Kestrel and Silver Surfer release era. Honorable mentions are going to be, you know, Dr. Octopus here. For him, you know, he's provided a lot of mileage for me in the Doom 2 raids. He's got some good support. He can extend negative conditions. He was used in Dark Dimension for me as well, so you know he's always gonna have a place. And as well with Dr. Octopus, he's actually a pretty easy unlock too, with being the X-Force being available to actually unlock. So I mean, this is a very good character overall, and he's gonna likely have some strong synergies once Dark Dimension 5 comes back out again, just being a strong legendary character overall. Ebony Maw has always had a good place in the game because of the Black Order, but he's really losing his place just due to the fact that, you know, better characters are coming out that can do what he can do. You know, for instance, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep Shuri or Ebony Maw for Dark Dimension 5 just because they're both legendaries and they both have the defense up, but Ebony Maw does have a lot of things that Shuri doesn't have, which is the slow. He can reduce the turn meter. He's also got that strong passive when we take down, you know, enemy hero controllers that grant as a barrier. But downside of Ebony Maw is he doesn't grant energy like Shuri does with the low cooldown, so that's something to be mindful of. I haven't really built up just because I got lucky with the 6 red, but I slowly feel like Ebony Maw is losing his place just because he also requires another legendary to unlock, and that may not be a value play for a lot of players, especially if you're in the mid to late game transitioning, and you know, especially since Black Order is no longer the meta. And lastly, I do hope that some additional love comes to Phoenix, because I think she's got a lot of strong capabilities in the game, and it's quite sad to see how powerful a character is, her being the first legendary character that actually required the 6 yellow to unlock. And now she really doesn't have a place, with the exception of perhaps being used in war, and as well Dark Dimension, just having that percentage health. So I mean, at least the good news is she's really cheap to level up and bring up for the tier levels, but she is losing her place. Hopefully a rework can come, because definitely one of the strongest characters in the Marvel universe, but she's not getting much love in this game right now, unfortunately. That really does cover the strongest and most powerful legendaries you should be investing in my honest opinion. As you can see, they're clearly a lot stronger than the rest of my roster here. You know, the rest being Nick Fury, Black Bolt, Invisible Woman, Star-Lord, Magneto, Iron Man, and Omega Red, we did touch on earlier. He's shaking things up in the war meta, but for me, that's not enough for me to invest in him right now, especially since I don't have the rest of the Weapon X team leveled up. These characters are the ones I'm kind of taking a pause on right now until additional rework is coming or more love comes to their respective teams. But for sure, if you guys, you know, the main thing to keep in mind here is which legendaries to invest in really depends on where you are in the game. If you're early to mid, 100% now, Shuri becomes a no-brainer just because of the value she's going to give you and the mileage she's going to have, especially now her being officially required for the Doom 2 raids in the late game stages. If you're already transitioning to the late game, for sure, then all the top characters here mentioned previously are going to be needed in all aspects of raid, war, dark dimension. Lastly, if you are involved in war, then Omega Red is the no-brainer here, just because with him and his team respectively being the top war offense team. So hope this video was able to give you guys a quick recap on what's changing right now in the game, the best value and the top legendaries to focus in on. But lots of changes. It's always exciting to see what's coming. So thank you as always, guys. Do appreciate you checking out my videos, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.